to see you. I love seeing your face. We talked about it last time, but I'm like, I just have this connection and this love and admiration for you because you have this genuine calming feel, like presence around you where I'm like, hey, maybe it's like a safety security thing where I'm like, I feel safe with you.
Oh, I love that. That makes my heart so happy.
I love that. I like to say that too, that things make my heart happy. Aww. Okay. How are you though? Let's catch up really quick, and I do want to jump into all the SLP stuff, but how are you? I feel like it's been
great.
Ages and I don't even like...
I know. I think it was almost a good 5 weeks since we last spoke, and that I felt the same way after we hung up. I was like, I need more of her in my life. Where did she go? Where do
you live?
I live in Pennsylvania.
I live in Tennessee.
Ooh, nice. I haven't been there yet. Next time I visit, I'll be sure to look you up so that we can see each other in person.
Right. Or I can come. You know what we're having right now is allergy season right now is in my backyard. Yeah. Oof.
I know.
Scratching, itchy. I aged my eyes by 5 years within the last 2 weeks of just scratching so much. I just know I'm like, there's no elasticity left in this skin because I'm just aggressively going after it.
My husband always comments, he's like, I've never seen somebody rub their eyes as aggressively as you, because I'll get in there with the palm and I'm like,
I feel like
feels so good.
Right. It feels like I want to take a wire brush in there, just like, whew, whew. But I know it's the worst thing you can probably do. Like that would probably be like a torture thing. But man, when I lived in California, I didn't notice the allergy so bad. But when we moved over here, it's spring because you can't even open your eyes because it's just happening.
Yeah, for sure.
Last time we talked, we didn't get into the SLP stuff, and I want to get into it, but I did want to touch on something because we talked about motherhood in general, but also just like humanity.
Yeah, we talked about so much.
We did, and I messaged you a little bit about this, but I wanted to share it with others because it was just like eye-opening. You sent me a meditation, which was beautiful.
Aww.
About you sent me two, so I don't know which one it was, and maybe it was both of them put together. But it was, I was concentrating and imagining and feeling the things that were kind of holding me back. I think it was the colors one, where you feel it, you kind of picture it out of your body, you accept it, and kind of let it go. And that was very moving. And then in the next couple of days, I was so overwhelmed. I was so anxious. I was like, and we talked about it, how a lot of people, self included, get in our head about it. And they were like, oh, I'm so stupid. I'm so dumb. I didn't get this done. I'm worthless. You hear that critic, that judge. And it was during nap time. So my daughter was laying next to me. We do contact naps still. And I was trying to get some work done on my phone, but I just needed to lay down. Like I was just overwhelmed. I started to cry. Like that's just how I felt. And then something happened. I heard myself say to myself, that's not you talking. And I was like, whoa, what's happening? And I almost imagined this like lap I was laying on, maybe my own lap in a sense, that I was laying in my own lap crying, and then myself was like petting me saying, you don't talk to yourself that way. That's something else talking. And then I heard myself say, that's a recording. That's a recording you're hearing from somewhere in the past. That's not you talking. And then I sound so crazy right now. And then I told myself, I said, that's right. That's not me talking. I don't talk to myself that way. I shouldn't talk to myself that way. Then I had a little epiphany of, my daughter likes to say, you can do hard things. Do one thing at a time. And now she tells me, do one thing at a time, mommy. So I heard her voice say that to me while this is all happening. And I was like, oh my gosh, if I ever heard my daughter talk this way to her, it wouldn't be acceptable. I would never want her to know right now as she's laying next to me that I'm talking to myself that way. And so between hearing her and hearing myself that it's a recording, then I said, I just need to go and turn it off. I said, that's not me talking. That's a recording. Go turn it off. And I pictured myself standing up, walking over to this old school player, right, with like the tuba looking speaker up top. And I just turned it off. And then there was this like waterfall of weight that fell over me, because I'm like, oh my God, I've been listening to this recording. I'm almost 32. Next week I'm turning 32. For 32 years, I've been listening to this recording, believing it, that is the, accurate representation of who I am. And now to be able to understand that, whoa, I'm like in a movie and the narrator's talking, but that's not really what's happening. This is just a recording playing. And I have it now on my phone on my screensaver. That's not you talking. That's a recording. Go turn it off.
That's incredible. So the other work that I do, so as a speech pathologist, I help people communicate. And as the other part of the work that I do is I help people communicate not only externally, but also internally. So what you were doing is quite literally rewiring your subconscious so that the voices that you're hearing are serving you. Because the voices that you were not, or the voices that you were hearing were not serving you. And that beautiful, amazing, incredible experience that you just shared with everybody is so truly, deeply, absolutely incredible. And even when you're feeling lighter, that is quite literally your body releasing what it no longer needs. Sometimes we'll release it in tears or in sweats or in burps. And that is truly our nervous system rewiring itself. And when you feel lighter afterwards, you literally took what did not serve you and let it go, which is why you felt so much lighter. That was incredible.
An unbelievable out-of-body experience. And I tried to explain because I was like, man, I got to share this with people because, if somebody's in this boat, I would love for them to, feel better. And I tried to explain it, and it's like a 5-minute video. Then I was like, maybe I sound crazy, so I didn't post it. But
crazy.
I pictured myself, and I was in my own lap crying, and I was telling myself it's okay. I was the parent and the kid, to be parented in the reparenting myself, saying it's okay that you're crying, it's okay that you're upset, you don't owe anyone anything. And what you're hearing, that voice isn't you talking. You don't talk to yourself that way. You wouldn't talk that way to strangers, to a person I love, even to a person I don't like. I am very kind to people in general overall. And so I'm like, how could I even be talking to myself? That's not me. That's not me. That's a recording I'm hearing. And to let that go, the following weeks, I don't remember being upset or triggered. Things were just kind of coming and going. And I think I'm getting a little overwhelmed in the last couple of days. And I think I just need to lay down and because that was just one step. It doesn't go away once. There's so many things that I need to get out of me, right? But like you were saying, I was able to communicate with myself. And it wasn't like sometimes I'll say things to myself and they don't hold weight. They don't hold value for some reason. It's like I know that I'm telling myself that, right? So it's like unbelievable almost. Whereas this was so true and honest, and it was life-changing. Like I was like, oh my gosh, that's not me talking. To realize you can control that narrative because you are the writer of your own story. Life-changing. And then again, what do we want to take from it? We often talk that judge, that critic is the voice of our most critical guardian or parent. And then now I want to make sure I'm not passing those things to my daughter so that she has healthy self-esteem and healthy self-communication. But there's also a little bit of this idea that an acceptance of forgiveness in its actuality to the people who have wronged me. Because if they were only doing how they were taught and their parent was only doing how they were taught, none of them knew. It's like blind leading the blind, right? So it's like they didn't mean to.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you take the concept of you are the director, you are the writer, you are the producer of your life, there are voices that get put on our hard drives that we didn't necessarily want or aren't serving us. And for whatever reason, our nervous system catches them and we take them on as our own. So now as you go back and you notice, quite literally, there's this beautiful component called parts therapy. and we have different parts of ourselves. And in this case, the part that you, when you were saying you were on your own lap and you were also talking to yourself, you were talking to a part of you that needed healing, that needed to resolve, that needed to clear out what it no longer needed. And that's that incredible inner work journey that you do. And it's a lot like, I find it to be a lot like a labyrinth where you're doing really deep inner work. And then here you keep leveling up to where you were the day before. So it's always between you and you. It's not that you're competing against other people. It's between you, the version you were yesterday and the version you were today, or the version you were 10 years ago and the version today.
Right.
And the deeper you go, the more you grow. It's truly an incredibly profound experience to start to understand, okay, I have things about me that upset me. And when other people say something, it upsets me. I don't want to live in that way. So what do I need to resolve? What do I need to learn from this experience? And to go through that component of understanding that's a voice, and it could just be one voice, or it could be a culmination of voices that are on this recording of a critical inner authority figure. And to go in and start modifying those recordings is a profoundly moving experience. And when you then, over the next couple of days, you noticed, whoa, I'm just responding differently. I don't feel that feeling anymore. I don't get that rush of emotion anymore. And you can observe it, which is great.